Good morning. Hello. So my name is Antoine. I'm the ecosystem lead at Ready, that was previously called Argent. We just rebranded last week. And today I want to discuss with you guys how we used smart accounts to build a very nice user-facing product that people love to use. And I'm going to talk about this, the Ready card. So I think this card is really like a best-in-class crypto card. Why? I think there is a few reasons. First of all, it's a self-custodial card, so everything we do at Ready, we do it really with self-custody in mind. Secondly, it comes with account recovery by default, meaning that if you lose the account that is linked to your card, you can always recover it. The account that is linked to this card is also, you can also use it in DeFi, so it's not an account that is only linked to the card, you can just use it in your normal day-to-day crypto life. And then finally, something that is very important is the fact that this is a real debit card, right? So in the industry today, many of these crypto cards, they are what I call top-up debit cards, because the account linked to the card the only thing it can do basically is feed the card, is be used with the card, but you cannot use this account, in your daily crypto life, which means that you need to top up the account on a regular basis. With the Argent, the Ready card is not the case. You have a card, you have an account that you use normally. You can go into DeFi, you can send tokens to your friends, you can mint NFTs, and it happens that the card is actually plugged into that account and is gonna help you spend your USDC and your stablecoins in real life. And then the card can also be turned into a credit card very easily, because as I said, there is native DeFi support, so you can go to a money market, you can deposit in the money market Bitcoin or ETH, and then borrow stablecoins, borrow USDC against it, and spend the USDC with the card. So meaning that you can really use your crypto to purchase stuff in real life without actually selling it, which is great. And so I'm gonna, show you a live demo, but before jumping into that, I think it's important that we understand first how the architecture of a traditional card payment actually works, right? So in this architecture, you mainly have three players. The first one is the merchant's bank, which will provide the card terminal or the card reader to the merchant. There is also the cardholder's bank, which provides the card. And then there is the payment network, usually MasterCard or Visa, and this payment network will really interface between the two banks and make sure they can communicate with each other. So when you go to the store, you purchase something, you tap your card, this happens. There is an authorization request that is sent from the merchant's bank to the cardholder's bank. And the cardholder's bank is going to run a few checks. The most important one is that they're going to check that the user actually has enough money on their account. If it's the case, they will send the authorization back to the merchant's bank, and tadam, from the user perspective at least, the payment is done, right? So you see payment accepted or declined on the terminal. But in reality, a payment takes a much longer time. In reality, it takes up to a few days. And for that reason, the cardholder's bank is actually gonna hold the user's funds on the account for a few days, because this will happen, it's called clearing. I won't go into the details here, we don't have time. But then basically settlement, that's when the money really leaves the user's account to end up in the merchant's account. This happens a few days later. So there is this big time difference. And so the question is, how do we do this once we go into self-custody, right? Because in a self-custodial setup, we don't have access to the user's funds, so we can't really hold them. And also, how do we make sure the settlements happens in a nice way, that the user doesn't have to approve a transaction in their account every time they will purchase something, maybe just pay a coffee for 2.50 euros. The hold here is very important as well, because we must prevent users from double spending, right? So we should prevent them from going to a store, purchase the nice last iPhone, and then directly remove the money from their on-chain account. That would be double spending. So how do we do this? First thing is that we introduce this other player, which is called Kulipa. Kulipa is our partner, and Kulipa takes care of everything related to the old-fashioned, payment system. So they do KYC, AML, and they communicate with this whole interface. They do, the link between the payment system and the on-chain account of the user. How do we enforce the hold? Well, very easily with a cosigner. So in our setup, what happens when an authorization arrives to Kulipa? Kulipa will check the on-chain balance of the user. If they have enough USDC, they send back the authorization to the terminal, payment happens, and then they will enforce that you actually keep this money on your on-chain account with a cosigner, because all the ready accounts actually come with two signers. It's a smart account. So you have the main signer, the user signer, and then you also have a cosigner, which is actually the ready backend. And so we will check that if you have something on hold, something that you have spent with the card, we will make sure that you are not able to spend it a second time. We won't cosign transactions that involve money that has been spent already. Then settlement. So settlement happens via session key. So when you sign up to a ready card, you actually authorize Kulipa to draw money from your on-chain account, to draw USDC from your on-chain account, to settle the card transactions that you have done, meaning that you don't have to sign a transaction every time. This all happens seamlessly, completely in the background. I think something that's also very important is that users are always in control. So you actually open a session key that is only up to the amount that you decide you want to be able to spend with the card, like any traditional card actually. So you can decide this amount in the app. The session key only touches USDC. So the card spends USDC, doesn't touch any other token. You can have ETH, BTC, etc. And also users can always remove Kulipa from the equations if they want at some point. The only thing is that they will have to settle outstanding amounts first.